His mom's hot.
Yep.
Can you hear the ringing?
Yep.
Let's make sure to say that before he answers.
Steve.
Hey, Steve, this is Dan Taylor with the Slingin Dirt.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right. How about Buddy?
Okay. You got me there, Steve?
I can barely hear Buddy.
Can you hear me?
That's Andrew.
I can't hear him very well.
Oh, there went some static.
Yeah, there goes somebody's microphone.
I think that's mine.
And then we got old Father Time Roger Hayden over here.
Roger, say something real quick, see if he can hear you.
What are you doing, Grossenbacher, trying to cause trouble here?
Can you hear that at all?
There's not enough volume. No, I can just barely hear him.
How's that?
Can you hear me now?
Barely.
I don't know how to bolster it up anymore. Can you get along with that?
I'll try. Yeah.
All right, I apologize.
Is mine
I'm
working
getting
or is
an
mine
echo.
stuck?
What's that?
I'm getting an echo.
How about
Whenever
now?
I talk, it's delayed in the talk. I hear what I'm saying.
All right.
Are you there?
Yeah,
You want him to call us?
it's not going to matter. It's going to be
You
the
want me
same
to
phone.
call you guys?
It's going to be the
That
same
work better?
phone, so
What's that?
it's just going to be the same phone, so I don't think
Okay.
it'll matter any.
Yeah, I can hear you fine, but I can't hear Buddy very well.
Okay.
Well, I'll speak up a little bit if I have to.
I heard him then. Okay.
All right, let's get this going. We're just going to talk for, 10, 15 minutes about this topic, and this isn't going to reach the airwaves, so if you slip up and cuss, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
All right.
All right, just no calling Buddy names, okay? He gets really hurt when people do that.
All right, no problem.
Welcome back to the third edition of Slingin Dirt, presented by Lost Dogs Designs. Call Rena and Dave today.
LostDogDesign.com.
I did it again. Lost Dog Design. Give them a call today, 557-6032. You can also find them online, lostdogdesign.com. They'll handle all your Facebooking, all your social networking. They'll design your website for you. They'll even do all of your graphics designs, which those are three things that are incredibly hard to find and incredibly expensive to find. They'll do it all at once for you.
Shoot, if you want to see some work, all you got to do is go to joeskarting.com.
They do great work on your website, and they help us get this up on the website every week so that people can listen to it. So, joined in the studio tonight by track promoter Roger Hayden for Eagle Raceway, and
On the phone, we have Steve Grossenbacher. Trevor Grossenbacher is the current points leader in the sprint cars out at Eagle Raceway, and Steve is his father, respectively.
now we talked about it Sunday on the front stretch because it came out that night before on Saturday that Eagle has decided to not bring back the sprint cars for the 360s for next season. Roger, can you talk a little bit about the decision to not bring back the cars and what led you to that decision?
Well, we actually didn't say that the 360s wouldn't be there. We said that the 360s, that there would be a rule change, and the 360s would have to be restricted down to be able to run with the Race Saver motors.
Now, what brought about that idea? Why did you want to do that?
Well, I felt we needed to do something to be fair to the fans. Really, prices haven't changed for admission or anything, and over the years, and the car count's dwindling down, and at this point, I decided it was the correct time to go ahead and make a choice, and the choice was to move to IMCA sprints. They use the Race Saver motor package, and basically to try to get new blood into the sport.
Now, is this in an overall effort to eventually phase the sprint cars into an IMCA-sanctioned class?
That's correct. Yep. After a 1-year period, they would be, in 2014, they'll be 100% IMCA.
What is I have no idea. What is a Race Saver engine?
Basically, it's a motor that is spec'd out as far as all the parts internally. It's real similar to a crate motor. As a way of doing the motors, they actually seal them up, and they're inspected by an inspector to make sure, before they actually put the seal on, to make sure all the components are legit.
So they are sealed motors.
That's correct.
Which is going to be smart. It's going to keep the cost down for the drivers that can't afford to keep up with the Roush motor like Dover can bring to the track and everything like that. Am I saying that right, Steve?
I don't know, but I don't agree with. I don't think it's. My personal opinion is it's not going to save any money. I don't want to upset Roger here, but my opinion is we have less money in our motor than most of these 305 guys are building motors for. I think there's been a huge misconception on the cost of a motor at Eagle Raceway. I mean, I know Mike Boston is a heck of a competitor, fierce competitor. They have a top-notch motor. So does Dover. He's got a Roush motor. We've got it. We bought a used motor 5 years ago that Jay Eckley lined me up with, and we've freshened it every year. And we have we have $10,000 in the motor, and I think we're fairly competitive out there. I don't know. There's too many of the people that want to move up that think they have to have a $30,000 motor, and they don't. Not at Eagle Raceway. It's a bull ring. You don't need 700 horsepower. Our motor's a little over 600. I just don't know. The cost of the cars is the same. It ain't going to make any difference if you crash a 305 or a 360. It's still going to cost the same. I don't know how it's going to save anybody money when everybody's got to build a new motor.
Now, Roger and Steve, either one of you chime in. I don't know a whole lot about sprint cars. I don't know nothing. All I know is you got a tube that runs between your legs, which I thought was a drive shaft, and you'd lost your manhood if you flipped a car. That's all I know about them. But with the motors, which I know even less about, I've been hearing, there's like a restrictor plate that goes on the stacks or something like that. It's a sealed motor, and being in a sport mod myself where we have the claimers and the crate motors, a lot of the guys, I was a guy that didn't believe I didn't buy into the crate motor idea, and now I love the crate motor. But maybe Steve, if you're building the engines, Roger, maybe you've built some engines. What is the massive difference? What is the core issue with these engines? With the stacks, these restrictors or whatever. And I want to clarify that. I wanted to get Roger Hayden is a highly promoted, highly decorated track promoter. Steven Grossenbacher, Trevor Grossenbacher, current points leader at Eagle, outstanding family. What two better authorities on the current issue? And so instead of having a lot of internet bashing with a lot of BS slinging around, let's go straight to the horse's mouth.
I agree.
Well, I agree that there's been a misconception as far as what it takes to win races at Eagle Raceway. I 100% agree with that. But on the flip side, to get a new person involved, over the last 7 years I promoted the racetrack, we've really gained 4 people over 7 years, is all I can think of. And those 4 people that were new into the sport, they basically were under the misconception, I guess, as Steve says, that they needed $30,000, $40,000 motors, and some of them have actually spent that on their motors, I believe. So this is an alternative, I think, to the guy who thinks that he cannot spend $30,000 or $40,000 on a motor, whether it be correct or not. But it just gives that person the perception that they will be able to go out and compete and have fun racing.
Now, what do the 360? Trevor comes back to Eagle next year in his 360. What does he have to do to his current motor to make it work within that 305 Race Saver package?
We'll have a restrictor that'll sit on. There's 8 stacks sticking up out of the top of the motor, and on top, that's where the air goes into the motor. And on top of those stacks, we'll set basically a flat washer on it that'll restrict the airflow down. Kind of like NASCAR does.
So it'd be like a sprint car restrictor plate racing.
Correct.
Okay, Steve, do you have anything to add to that?
No, we have. I don't know. I think Roger told me he's done some testing on the dyno with these motors. I don't know if he's had one on the track yet or not. I know I think it's going to take some testing, to get them to run right and stuff. We went through this on the mini sprints. We ran a restrictor class. And you have to tune the motor to it. Your fueling is all going to be different. It'll be, I guess it's going to be interesting to see what happens with it. And if it does work, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody out there. I don't know how many of the guys are going to be open to it. I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. It would be, we have no 305s out there yet this year. It would be interesting to see one tested this summer, possibly. just at intermission or something, have somebody run some laps and see how the thing works.
Is that something is that something you'd be interested in doing, Roger?
Yeah, there's for sure before the end of the year we'll have some motors out running just to see how it goes.
Now, Roger, as a promoter of Eagle, have you had interest in current sprint car teams from Eagle in doing this to help save them some money?
No, I'd say the teams that are racing right now are pretty well against it. The vast majority of them. There's a couple that are maybe thinking about giving it a try. But there has been a lot of phone calls over the last week and a half from other previous drivers of other classes that are maybe interested in moving into a class that pays better. So there's been quite a bit of interest. So I'm fairly hopeful that this will all work out.
Now, Steve, I want to kind of disagree with what you're saying there. I kind of like this idea of putting the restrictor on it, and the reason is because all of us drivers, you don't need the horsepower to go around a small track. You're 100% correct, but us drivers think, man, that guy's beating us because he has a humongous rig. He's got all this and that. There's probably people that think that you told me you got a $10,000 motor. There's people that are thinking since you're beating them, you have a $30,000 motor. And I think what they're doing, they're just trying to restrict it to keep it all equal. We done this in the super late model series, and I think it worked because everybody, Kyle Burke's got the biggest of everything. Now it's all equal. I think that's what they're trying to do, and people are going to, like he said, there's going to be guys that weren't running there are going to go, if I can restrict now my $5,000 motor can run with these guys, it's going to happen. I mean, everybody thinks that guy has a bigger and better motor than me. I'm never going to be able to keep up. They're trying to keep it all to basically be the exact same. I like the idea. I think it sounds smart.
Okay, I want to be fair to both sides here. Rogers came up, with this idea with the 305 Race Saver engine, and to a newbie like me with sprint cars that doesn't know a whole lot, it sounds, like a great idea. Now, Steve, I want your opinions on the sprint car. What do you think would have been some major changes that you could have implemented if you had the magic wand to you and Roger are both in agreement on something needs to change. What would you have done if it was for the 305 Race Saver?
I think we could have limited. We could have went to put a limit on the wing, the angle of the wing, take the wing slider off. We could have most everybody out there is running an MSD. You could put a chip in it, a 7500 chip, something like that. Because I know the Roush, Dover's turning his motor 9300, Boston turns his right up there. We're turning ours 85. You could do something to that effect. We could have gone to harder tires. I don't own the track. I mean, I feel for Roger. He's trying to get more cars out there. I don't know, if this is the answer or not. I guess the future will tell us.
Well, I got to clarify a couple things on my behalf here to the Race Saver motor. It's not new. It's not something I've come up with. This deal's out. It's been out there for 16 years this year.
Okay, see, I didn't know that because I don't know a whole lot about sprint car racing.
Not in our region at all. South and East Coast, it's very big in those areas. Been out there for a long time. It was kind of designed by a ex-sprint car racer. Well, actually, not an ex-sprint car racer. He still races French Grimes. But it's been around a long time and kind of established everywhere but here. And then this particular year, IMCA happens to pick this particular type of a motor package up and puts together this French Grimes and Race Saver and IMCA and Smiley's, which is a huge group down south, Texas area, kind of put this whole group together. So it's nothing that I did. This thing's been out there, and it's just something that I thought would probably mix into our core group, that we could mix in with our core group and come up with a larger amount of cars to put on a better show.
Now, Steve, I'm going to put you kind of on the spot here. With this new engine package coming out, it's not new, but with this option coming out where it's got to be phased in through the 2013 season, then we'll take over the 2014 season. What kind of implications does this have on the Grossenbacher racing team for next year?
We will probably run mostly the ASCS stuff. I don't know. I'm just saying we'll probably run mostly the Midwest ASCS stuff. I have to wait and see. I don't know what we'll do Depends on the purse also. I mean, I know we're changing motors. I don't know what the purse is going to be. I haven't been to the pit meetings and listened to everything that's going on. I don't know. Trevor hasn't told me. I don't think Roger has announced the purse. I might be wrong there. I don't know. But if it's going to be a deal where they're going to cut the purse in half because they're running a different motor, we probably will not run there. That's just.
No, I think that's realistic. I think that's very realistic. If the purse will be cut in half, then it's going to be half the value to go there. So, Roger, do you have any idea what the purse is going to be like?
Yeah, the purse will be the same. Might have a little different structure, top to bottom. I'd like to have it a little more bottom heavy than what it is on the top right now, but that's something that we can negotiate with the drivers that are going to participate.
Maybe shave some off the top and give the lower ranked guys a little bit more at the end of the night.
Yeah, I'd like to get the back of the purse to be like $250 to start instead of a couple hundred.
Oh, okay.
And that's smart because he's trying to already get new guys in now that they can see.
Yeah.
I've never been there. I might not make the show, and they can run 10 now. And Steve, that's honestly great for Trevor to go ASCS because he's came a lot of places. He's good enough to go. I mean, we might lose one car. You guys might lose one car to go ASCS, but you're good enough to do it. But it might gain 4 cars because now the top dog's gone.
I tell you what, the one thing I will tell you about Eagle Raceway, and you have to compare Eagle in some ways, in my opinion, to that of Knoxville. They're both highly magical places for sprint cars. And you see a lot of the guys that run top 10 week in and week out, the Stu Snyder, the Grossenbacher, the Dover, the Ledger, the Bostons, the Jordan Bostons. These guys can run anywhere, any track, any state, any series, anywhere, and be on the top of their game. Well, with this new engine package coming into Eagle Raceway, we might lose these guys, but look at the current field or the current class of drivers that's going to be flooding Eagle, possibly, theoretically, in the 2013 season. And now, once again, we might lose these guys, and that's sad, but at the same time, what's really cool about it is we got the new drivers coming in. Now we're going to have a new field of Grossenbachers, the Dovers, the guys like this. It's just like what we were talking about on the radio show with Logano. Logano doesn't need to be in the Nationwide Series. He needs to be in the Cup Series. Grossenbacher is not a Nationwide guy. He's a Cup guy. So, and it's not that the Nationwide is a bad series by no means, but it's allowing new blood to get into the sport. And what I think is cool here is you got 2 top-notch guys that both agree something needs to be done to the sprint cars. You got the promoter taking a proactive approach, and you got the current points leader team, the Grossenbacher team here going, well, we may not run that, but really, is anybody out anything? Because Grossenbacher's good enough to run at the next level. He's more than ready to run at the next level. So if we bring in, like I said, this new rules package or this new engine package, we got a whole new class of drivers coming to Eagle, and the cycle starts again.
Well, this is going to be an interesting story, and you better believe that the Slingin Dirt Boys are going to stay on it as the year continues. Roger, Steve, we really appreciate you guys jumping into studio and joining us tonight. Steve, best of luck with you guys the rest of the season, and I know we're going to try to get to talk to you later on and find out what your plans are for 2013.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Steve.
You bet. Thanks, Roger.
You bet. Bye.
All right, that was fun. All right, so
bad.
What are you doing? We're still recording.
Oh.
Remember, we're live. We don't edit. We don't take breaks. We don't edit. And it wasn't bad at all. This is the best damn podcast for dirt tracking ever.
Oh,
it's
this
great.
is something. Well, I'm over here wondering if I need to show up at Eagle Raceway Saturday night now, because Roger's going to be like, hey, this pit pass just went to $60 for that damn thing.
And Roger, we really do appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you got a lot to do on a Wednesday night other than sit here and talk and shoot the shit with us. So, do you have some time to sit with us and go through points?
All right, this is my favorite part of Slingin Dirt here.
We like to break down where the results are and the tracks are for a lot of the tracks in Nebraska and then Iowa. And since you're in studio tonight and it is Nebraska's turn, we'd hope you would take over and do Eagle for us.
Well, he's got Mini E.
Oh, you've got Mini E.
I've got Eagle.
Ah, okay. Well, go ahead and who do you want to start? Who's going to go first?
Well, let's have the honorary guest, Roger Hayden. He's over here shaking his head no, so that means yes.
What do you do?
So
go
just
all the way through the points?
Just read off your
points and results.
The top 5 in results, and then if you want to jump over to how they're doing in the points battles, or however you want to do it, just read them off.
All right. In the junior flat amateur, Gage Johansson, he's been kicking everybody's butt here lately.
You can say ass.
Can I?
Yep.
Nah,
Yeah,
It's raw and unedited.
The FCC has nothing to do with this, so
he's very consistent. Runs every week there, and he's actually been really, really consistent this year. Then in the 206 heavy, we got Austin Kent. He drives the 25 cage cart. He's actually also been very consistent. Not a consistent winner, but he's always in the top 5. The finish in the 206 light, Howard Kozel, he's there week in and week out.
He's a longtime karter, isn't he?
He's actually raced karts for quite a few years, and before that he raced limited late models.
That's what I thought. Didn't you race against him in the late models at one time?
I think I raced what I'd call a real late model against him back in the day.
Did he beat you back in the day?
No way.
No way.
Junior 1, there's a Braden Latour, I think is how he pronounces his name. He's kind of a hit and miss guy. He does very good when he's there, but he's actually not there every week. But he does. He's really, really at the front of the pack when he's there. Raylan Jones, she's new to the track. She's only been there a few nights. She's already won her first two features already. She won the previous week also. We confiscated her motor, checked it out, and amazingly, it's legal.
Okay, we just want to put that out there right now.
Everybody needs to know.
Yeah, yes. Dead silence. That was awesome.
Adult clone, Don Rasmussen, he's been coming down visiting us lately. He's a tough competitor. He's wherever he goes and races, he's always really tough. We do a Junior 2 heavy class. Neil Nicolette, he's been racing with us for a couple years, and I don't even know if that kid's missed a race, and I'm pretty sure he's never even not finished a race. And then he also runs the junior medium class, which he also ended up winning. And then the Junior 1 flat class, Talon Pasco, that kid's unstoppable unless his brother Ryan happens to catch up to him, and they run first and second almost week in and week out. And those two guys are just about the best two flat cart racers you could ever be around.
And what's her last name?
Pasco. They've been racing. The whole family's been racing for years. They got a daughter that races in the junior flat carts. She's about, I don't know, maybe 3 foot tall. She's the shortest racer that we've got, the tiniest. I'd be surprised if she weighs 50 pounds, and this girl is fast.
It's a great family, too. The parents are really, really behind them. They're usually not very loud, either. I mean, have you had any problems with the parents? They're usually great people.
Yeah, heck yeah, they're loud. Screaming and yelling for their kids.
The one thing I want to inject here in a second on the Slingin.
Let's not use the word inject.
Yeah, this is our third edition of Slingin Dirt, and we're, like Dan said, the first show we're shooting straight from the hip. But starting this week, we are covering all the eastern Nebraska tracks. Starting next week, we'll cover the western Iowa tracks, and then every week we're going to alternate.
Right.
So it'll be 2 weeks before you hear the newest results and standings for the Nebraska tracks. But I told Dan today, I called him before we did this, and I told him, I was like, we're going to put Little Sunset and Mini E out there. And why is that? Dan has said it, and kudos to Dan for saying this. This is our newest generation of racers coming up. Let's show them some love. I'm sure if I was 8 years old, I'd love to hear my name being mentioned on the racer by, a bunch of stock car drivers and a wannabe announcer. So
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not. Because listen, all of you out there may be thinking, wow, that was kind of mean to say. But just wait until I start reading off my results. I'm trying to pronounce some of these names. There's going to be a lot of gift baskets going out at the end of this segment because I'm gonna be apologizing to a lot of people. And there's one of them. Oh boy!
I saw some of the names, and that's why you got those tracks. Yes.
I don't know why. I told Crawford County to quit selling fruit at the fair, at the races on Friday nights, because people keep throwing fruit at me at the end of the night. They're so mad at me for getting their drivers' names wrong.
That's why the announcer's box is all red and yellow.
It's not because I eat salads while I'm there.
Yeah. So
that was Little E, right? I'm sorry. Yeah, Little E.
Yep, got it.
Okay.
All right, who's next?
I guess I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
We'll start with I-80, and then I'll end up with Junction Motor Speedway.
Yeah, you got I-80, Little Sunset, and McCool.
Oh, shoot. I got a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, we're going to make you talk tonight.
Take a big, deep breath.
Okay. For the The A-Mods, Josh Most, come from Red Oak, started 12th, had to make the invert from the back, went out there and beat Dylan Smith, who ended up second. It was a sweet race. Josh Most showed how good he was, and he looked really impressive out there last week. Brad Derry won the Pro-Am feature, followed by Rick Negretti and Tim Pedraza. In the Grand National A feature, it was Micah Brown picking up the A. Bill Coons. I think Bill Coons might have found himself a class to run in, very consistent, because he looks very good in a
Now,
great
is that
car.
Big Bill or Little Bill?
That's Big Bill.
Because I just seen Little Bill yesterday, and he said he's kind of taking it easy this year, and he's working on some stuff for next year in 2013.
Well, he's going to be a dad here soon, so.
Yeah, I did not know that until yesterday.
Well.
It was pretty obvious.
Corey Dumper was third. He come from all the way from last. Jacob Brown fourth, and Kyle Dumper got fifth. And the Hornet feature, Nick Alexander picked up another win this year. Dan Markham was second. Tammy Clark third. In the B mod, of course, our usual winner, Jesse Sobbing, started 12th, and I think he was leading on lap 2 or 3, probably.
Once again, any kind of a bounty coming out on him? Any word?
No idea. I couldn't. I don't know anything like that. I don't know why there would
okay.
be. I think you'll win every single race the rest of the year.
Alrighty.
So, point standings at I-80. I'm getting there right now.
Lots of paperwork being shuffled around tonight in the studio.
In the SLMR series, Travis Dickus is our leader, followed by Justin Zeitner. Bill Layton Jr.'s third, Mike Collins, and Mike Marushak rounds out the top 5. In the super late model class on Fridays, Kyle Burke's leading, Jason O'Brien second. Bill Layton Jr., Chris Speaker, and Jace Kazer is the top 5.
Jace Kazer's had a hell of a year this year.
This is the best I've ever seen Jace Kazer run, and I mean it's really keeping me on my toes whenever I go out to Junction out there to run against him.
And Jace Kazer's actually going to join us on our Front Stretch show next weekend. Not this coming weekend, but next weekend we're going to have him in studio.
You have his number, right? Because I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. We're going to get him in studio. So make sure to listen to the Front
All right.
Stretch. It's on AM
You
590
heard it.
Omaha's ESPN Radio, and we're going to get him on just like we've been doing with some great listeners. Like we've had Roger in the studio now a couple of times. So that's for the Front Stretch. But let's continue with Slingin' Dirt.
The A-Mods, Dylan Smith is your leader at Osceola. Has a pretty hefty lead over Jesse Dennis and Jimmy Cole. In the Pro-Ams, Rick Negretti over Tim Pedraza, Brad Deary. Don Moore picking up a win a couple weeks ago. I think he's had the same car for 12 years. But you know what? Donnie's still out there. He's still running and loving it. And Kurt Drake is 5th. B-Mods won every single race this year. Jesse Sobbing, Dennis Cook 2nd, Bill Flagg 3rd, Brian Kaziski 4th, and Cody Olson is your top 5. Grand Nationals, Micah Brown at Omaha. Jacob Brown is 2nd. Corey Dumper 3rd, Todd Hipner 4th, and Kyle Dumpert is 5th. And in the Hornet class, our final class is Jamie Spannell leading the points, which he's won, I think, 3 years in a row now. Dan Markham 2nd, Tammy Clark 3rd, Dave Christensen, and Kelly Johnson is the top 5 there.
And that's your for I-80, right?
That is I-80.
Okay.
Now-
And we'll give you a little bit of a break, and I'm
Thank
just
you.
going to go ahead and jump into the fire and get this Band-Aid ripped off here. We'll start with the Sport Compact feature, finishing 5th, Shannon Poppissel.
What track are we doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a good thing to point out. Albion.
Albion.
Yes, Albion, Nebraska Raceway, Friday nights out of Boone County. So these were as of July 6th races. So Shannon Poppissel from Norfolk. Did I get that right?
I think it's Pospissel.
Pospissel? Okay. I'm
Pospissel?
telling you. You guys are going to have to help me for a while here. This is going to
Popsicle.
get bad.
Is it real? Roger, you know the family. Is it actually Pospissel?
No, Popsicle.
Pospissel?
Possicle.
Yes.
Okay. There's... All right. Well, whatever. That's fine. I'm illiterate. I graduated from Red Oak, so I apologize. Jordan Lawhorn finished 4th. Eric Nelson finished 3rd. David Dembowski, I can pronounce that one, from Grand Island, pulled up 2nd. And Cameron Mayer from Pierce, Nebraska, finished 1st. Cameron adds to his points lead over Shannon.
Pospissel.
Thank you. So, Cameron, I'm just going to let you guys say the last names if that works better.
Well, I always thought it was Pospisil or Pospopol or something like that. I couldn't pronounce it.
Popsicle.
Yeah, you got it.
Popsicle.
All right. Shannon P. is in 2nd place. He's 15 points behind. And then Ramey Mayer, excuse me. Is that any brother to Cameron? Relation, I would assume?
No idea.
Since they're both out of Pierce, one's the 21 and one's the 21R, so I would assume they're related in somehow. David Dembowski's 2nd place finish enables him to tighten up a little bit. He's sitting in 4th, 25 points out of the lead. Oh my God. Brooke, that looks like fuckire. Are you screwing with me?
He took letters out. And
Fluckiger. It looks like fuckire.
There's an L in there. Fluck.
Fluckiger.
Where's it at?
Sport Compact's sitting 5th in points.
Fluckiger. Brooke Fluckiger.
Flickiger? Man,
Brooke, if you were a friend of the Facebook, you now just disliked us.
yeah,
Defriended.
I'm really sorry about that.
It
It's
seriously looks like Fluckiger. Fluckiger.
yeah.
Say
So,
that when you're drunk.
I'm really glad that we're not. This isn't going over the airwaves on AM 590 because I think we'd officially be canceled. All right, for your Sport Mods A feature as of July 6th, the winner was Tyler A. Frank from Norfolk. Looks like Kyle Priner. Really?
Priner.
There's no I.
It's Kyle Priner.
Okay, Kyle Priner. And then Nelson Volbrecht from Stanton, Nebraska, finished 3rd. Chris Tensky finished 4th from St. Edwards, Nebraska. And then Brandon Posnecker from Adkins, Nebraska, finished 5th. So that's your Sport Mod feature. With that, Kyle Priner is your current points leader. Nelson Volbrecht is 4 points behind. Chris Tensick is 18 points behind, sitting in 3rd. Brian Postnecker is 4th in points, sitting 36 points back. And Tyler A. Frank, that's got to be a better way of saying that. A. Frank, okay. Is
that how I pronounce
5th
it,
in
Roger?
points.
A. Frank.
Yep.
A. Frank, again, I apologize. I'm sorry. I don't have very good pronunciation skills. Street Stocks A feature, your winner for the night, Eric Haas from Norfolk. Then Randy Birchsteiger. Seigner.
Maybe just do the top 3.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Then finishing 3rd, Troy Bruns. Finishing 4th, Ron Petit. And finishing 5th, Chad Bruns. So
That Haas, is it Haase? Hazy.
Yeah.
Hazy.
are you sure?
Yes.
Because isn't that the same way that...
It's Hazy.
Okay, Hazy. I'm sorry. I took it for what Stuart Haas. I thought they had an N E at the
Is
end
that
of
Ray
theirs.
Haas's kid?
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yep.
You go to Albion. I didn't know that.
So the way your points lays out for the stocks, I know you guys
was
could just
that?
see me struggling over this name, can't you?
Sound like a sport compact that dropped a cylinder.
Yeah. Street stock for finishing, or your current points leader, and it's a tight race, I'm telling you. TJ Malik from Norfolk is your current leader. Ron Petit is right behind him, just 1 point back. Eric Haase is 9 points back in 3rd. Randy Pelster is 15 points back. And Dale Primrose Jr. is 31 points back. That's your 5th place in the street stock. So give me a little. I've never seen a street stock. Is it the same thing as like a hobby stock or in a stock? Or?
Kind of, sort of. When I think of a street stock, I am thinking of like an IMCA stock car like you see at Crawford County.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see like the old Camaro style bodies that you would see at I-80. You know, I don't know if that's an IMCA sanctioned class at Albion. I think that's just a track class.
Okay.
One thing I do want to mention though is Nelson Volbrecht and Nelson Volbrecht and Kyle Priner. As of last week, they were ranked 2nd and 3rd, respectively, in the Sport Mod national standings in IMCA.
Wow, that's awesome.
So kudos to them.
Roger, have you guys ever ran street stocks at Eagle?
No, not since I've had the track, and I don't believe they ever have.
Is there?
Yeah, they had way back in the day because Maynard Kinnersley came out of that class.
Weren't those called Flyers?
No.
Okay.
Is that a?
Because I ran the Friday Night Flyers.
How come you guys don't run them there? Is it just not a big draw for them, or?
We got enough problems.
They got me at the track, for Christ's sakes.
And that's also known as enough problems. Let's move on with your features for July 6th. Late model. Oh, man. Tad
Popsicle.
Pospisil from Norfolk finished 1st. Robert Osborne finished 2nd. James Kelly. Now, there's a name I can get my head around. James Kelly. Good old James Kelly finished 3rd. Dean Wilkinson finished 4th. And Mark Ludkin finished 5th. I like this late model division. There's only one name that tripped me up. And that's going to end now that I've seen my modified division. But let's look at your points for that. Tad continues his lead over Robert Osborne. 18 points to the good is Tad over second placeman Robert Osborne. Randy Hooker is a third. 33 points back. Matt Lutkin is fourth with 38 points back, and Jim Johnson 41 points behind the leader, sitting in fifth place out of, doesn't have a state, so he's just out of Nebraska. Your modified division, Shane Thorne out of Clarks, Nebraska, 40 points goes to him for being the winner of the modified feature. Tyler Iverson finishes second. Brent Hofelman finishes third. I believe he's out of Lincoln. Jacob Anson finishes fourth out of Albion. And Steve Reynolds finishes fifth. So that's your top five for the feature finishes. Modified, Tyler Iverson is your current points leader. He's going to lose a little bit of positions to Shane Thorne, who isn't in your top five, so not much of a loss there. But Jacob Anson, who finished fourth in the feature, is your second placeman. He's just 3 points behind Tyler, so pretty close battle there. Brent Hoffelman out of Lincoln is 22 points behind. Steve Reynolds out of Springfield, South Dakota is 30 points behind, and Chuck Sands is 41 points behind in fifth place. Your final hobby stock feature for July 6th, Kevin Crone out of Albion finished with checkered flags. Brady Furnow out of Blair finished second. Jason Wilkinson finished third. Tiffany Bittner fourth, and Kobe Langenberg finished fifth. He's out of Colby out of Norfolk. So that's the way the positions finished up for the hobby stock division. Jason Wilson is your current points leader. Cody Langberger is 26 points behind. Jason's got a heck of a points lead there.
Oh, yeah. Jason Wilkinson is actually a really decorated driver. He's won a lot of championships, a lot of feature wins. He's been known to be a little rough at times, but overall, generally, he's a really, really good hot shoe. Tiffany,
out of Neyland, Nebraska. So Tiffany Bittner is sitting third in the points, 28 points behind, and Brent Jacob is fourth in the points, 29 points behind. Kevin Crone is fifth in the points, 44 points behind. I tell you, second, third, and fourth, 3 points separate those guys.
I noticed that.
Girls.
Wow.
So big battle there to take second place, and whoever can finally set their sights on the leader.
Yep. As Brody Tulip would say, somebody's going to need a podium, mate.
Not even close.
Kind of sounds like a redneck version. That must be Southern Australia.
Yeah, that's a redneck doing his impression of an Australian impression.
That's a redneck doing an impersonation of Mick Dundee.
Wow. So that does it for Albion, Nebraska. So move on to Bud. Who do you have? Or go over to Andrew?
Since I got two, I'm going to pop one off. I'll do the little sunset real quick here. Last week, the 206, the A feature, Brandon Salzman won, followed by Matt Gropp and Ryan Jenkins. The senior cage, one cart. Rob Brown picked up a huge win for himself, and he finished second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, but sometimes having nights like that can actually help you as a driver. I mean,
wait, how did he finish second, third, fourth, and fifth?
Because he was the only one on the track.
Oh, okay.
It happens.
I got it.
Junior 2 cage, Jalen Williams.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Did they still run him?
I think they probably put him in a different one. Sadly, I haven't been out there yet this year. I
was going to say, why would they still run it if they knew who the winner was going to be before the green flag?
They'd probably put him in the 206 animals. I think that's the comparative. Okay. Junior 2 cage, Jalen Williams. She picked up the win, followed by Zach Van Cirksum.
Oh, somebody else having problems there, huh?
Oh, and then his little sister, Caitlin Van Cirksum, got third. Junior 1 cage, Chase Brown picked up the win, followed by Cole Wayman and Trey Gropp. Rookie cage, Sophia LaFleur. There's a lot of girls out here that win a lot. Destine Whitney.
Well, they only bring their assets to the race. Right, guys? It's not that they're good drivers.
9-year-olds.
It's not that they're good drivers.
They don't have assets.
Well, it's because they're little girls. That's the only reason why they're making it into the sport, right?
Maybe they're good.
Well, they can't be. They're girls, remember?
I never said that they couldn't do that.
Listen to the front stretch this weekend. You guys will all understand what I'm talking
Andrew,
about.
Before you were interrupted.
Dad, get the car ready. How many friends can I bring? Stock medium was Cody Carter and Logan Fricks was your top two in that. And for the points, 206 animal, Logan Hendrickson, your leader, followed by Ryan Jenkins, Brett Geary, Ian Newman, and Jacob Hopscheid. Senior cage, Rob Brown, Randy Seffron, Dave LaFleur, Skip Brown, and Kale Kaziski is your top five. Junior 2 cage, Jalen Williams, Zach and Caitlin Van Cirksum is second and third. Joey Cavan And Ari Shooten is 5th. In the Junior 1 cage, Chase Brown leading, followed by Trey Gropp, Cole Wayman, Tommy Drool, and Little John Schwint is 5th in points in the Junior 1 cage. The Charger, only 2 of them, Tanner Gottschalk and Zoe Walk is the 2 in the Charger division. Stock medium, Logan Fricks is your leader, followed by Cody Carter, Steve Kozel Jr., and Kyle Boiling, and Timothy Oden, your top 5. In the last 4 classes in the clones, Don Rasmussen tied for the lead with Tim Keeler and Scott Jurgens. It's a 3-way tie. Colton Art and Travis Meyer and Ron Cumberledge. That is your top 5. 6 people in the top 5, all separated by 3 points. Junior 2 alcohol, Jacob Breeze, your leader, followed by Devin Peterson and Dalton Bodfield. Junior 1 alcohol, Ryan Pasco, your leader, followed by Talon Pasco. We talked about them earlier. They obviously are dominating that Little Sunset as well. Jake Short 3rd and Zach Emig is 4th. And the alcohol amateur class, Gage Johansson and Ashlyn Peterson is your top 2. And rounding out the field, showed up once, it looks like. No, I lied. I'm sorry about that. Jace Rifle is only 1 point behind your leader. So that is all your class at the Little Sunset.
All right, and I've over here I've got Eagle Raceway. These are the results and the points as of July 7th. Eagle Raceway. If you guys noticed, I didn't bring a whole book for each track. I kind of abbreviated it.
Yeah, thank you, by the way, for not making us do the top 10. I didn't have 3 hours to record.
No. So anyways, at Eagle Raceway, I'm going to start with the results from Saturday night in the Sport Compacts. Started 2nd, finishing 5th. Sydney Yost out of Nebraska City, a new driver in that class. Taking out 4th, or coming in 4th, starting 11th, finishing 4th, Nick Lindblad out of Beatrice, Nebraska. In your 3rd position, starting 9th, finishing 3rd, Barry Kinnersley out of La Vista. And starting 12th, taking home 2nd place, Cameron Meyer out of Pierce, Nebraska. And I believe this is her first feature win this year at Eagle. Starting 7th, finishing 1st, had a really good run, Amanda Riley out of Bennington, Nebraska. In the Sport Mods, starting 6th, finishing 5th, Dustin Thayer out of Bellevue, Nebraska. And then in the 4th spot, starting 3rd, Anthony Kobus, a 13K out of David City, Nebraska. Starting 9th, finishing 3rd, and the number 40 is Sean Harker out of Nebraska City. And then the 2G, starting 10th, finishing 2nd, Jeff Olson out of Sioux City, Nebraska. And your feature winner from Saturday night, starting 4th, finishing 1st, Steve Swarthout out of Beatrice, Nebraska. And the Hobby Stocks, starting 9th, finishing 5th, the 71K of Josh Kennel out of Bennett, Nebraska. The 18H of Jim Hall, starting 14th and finishing 4th. He might have won your hard charger in the Hobby Stocks, Jim Hall. In 3rd place, starting 10th, is a 6R of Roy Armstrong. In 2nd place, starting 8th, a 44 of John Kane out of Homer, Nebraska. In your feature winner in the Hobby Stock, starting 11th, finishing 1st, Adam Armstrong out of Beatrice, Nebraska. Man, he was in a class of his own Saturday night. In your modifieds, starting 3rd, finishing 5th, the 8C of Chad Anderson out of Omaha, Nebraska. Starting on the pole, finishing 4th, Josh Most out of Red Oak, Iowa. I believe he had some suspension problems late in the race and fell back to 4th. And then Tim Ward out of Gilbert, Arizona, the 4TW, starting 9th, finishing 3rd. And Dylan Smith, the Osceola Rocket, starting 12th, finishing 2nd in the 95. And then your feature winner, starting 7th, finishing 1st, kept it nice and smooth, Johnny Sadoff in the 96J car out of Beatrice, Nebraska. In your 360 sprint feature, starting 6th, finishing 5th, the 35L Cody Ledger, and that's a neat story right there. I think Roger, remind me, or correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he like the youngest sprint car driver ever, Eagle? I mean, he's young. He's like 15, I think.
Yeah, he had to wait till this year to turn 15 to race. Well,
Man,
I think his mom said he had to wait till he was 15 to race, I hear.
But he is good.
Dang, Mom, always making you wait, huh?
Man, he's good. Billy Alley, good to see him back in the 3 machine, starting 5th, taking home 4th place. Tyler Druku, we've talked about him before. He's a real good driver. Then the 12 car started 2nd, finishing 3rd. And then Trevor Grossenbacher, starting 4th, finishing 2nd out of Lincoln, Nebraska in the 35 machine. And your 360 sprint car feature winner from Saturday night, Mike Boston out of Alva, Nebraska in the 51 machine, starting 7th, finishing 1st. In top 5 in points, Sport Compact, Kevin Fearing, number 48 out of Lincoln. Number 4 is Barry Kinnersley. Number 3, Chad Basinger out of Nebraska City is sitting 3rd. Matt Moyer out of Gretna sitting 2nd. Nick Lindblad is your current points leader out of Beatrice, Nebraska. 37 points separates those guys there. In the Sport Mods, Todd Bulware, I believe I pronounced that right, Bulware, 14X out of Jefferson, South Dakota. 4th place, Sean Harker in the number 40 machine out of Nebraska City. In the 3rd spot, Jeff Olson, the 2G out of Sioux City. 2nd is Gary Sadoff, the 96 out of Beatrice, Nebraska. And your current points leader, Matt Richards, out of Lincoln, Nebraska. 53 points separates those top 5. Top 4 separated by 25 points. In the IMCA Hobby Stocks, 5th place out of Homer, Nebraska, the 44, John Kane. In 4th place, Ben Betcher in the B4 machine. 3rd place, Mike Hansen in the number 94 out of Weeping Water. Number 2, Josh Kinnell in the 71K out of Bennett, Nebraska. And your current points leader in the Hobby Stock division at Eagle, the 6R of Roy Armstrong. 40 points separates those top 5. In the IMCA Modifieds, this is real close. Out of Malcolm, Nebraska, in the 81 machine, Mike Dinsberger. 4th place, Johnny the Jet Sadoff in the 96J out of Beatrice, Nebraska. In 3rd place, Tim Ward in the 4TW out of Gilbert, Arizona. Bob Zubek in the 5S out of Dorchester, Nebraska, sitting 2nd place. And the Osceola Rocket, Dylan Smith, the number 95, is your current points leader in the IMCA Modifieds. 25 points separates all 5 of those guys. In the 360 Sprint Cars, number 5 out of Waverly, Nebraska, the 44 machine of Doug Lovegrove. John Clabundi in the number 77 sits 4th. Tyler Drucke in the number 12 machine sits 3rd. Mike Boston in the 51 and 57 out of Alva, Nebraska. He uses 2 different numbers from time to time. Sitting 2nd place, and Trevor Grossenbacher is your current points leader. In 155 points separates the top 5. Top 4 separated by a mere 96 points. And I really don't know how their point system works. I have no clue.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I really don't know how to pronounce anybody's name, so, we've all got our things that we really can't do very well.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Beatrice Speedway. Is that mine?
Yep.
Okay. And do they run Friday night or Saturday night?
Friday nights.
They run Friday nights? Okay.
And Roger and Beatrice do have a joint points between the 2 tracks.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we work together with Beatrice to try to see if we can get some cars going back. At the moment, we got right at 34 cars that run at both tracks. Yeah,
I'm noticing a lot of names that he was reading off that are on this list too. So let's start off with your results. IMCA Stock Cars, Lance Borgman was your winner over Kyle Vanover. Jeff Watts finished 3rd. Paul Huss finished 4th, and Keith Riley finished 5th. For your hobby stocks, Adam Armstrong took home the checkered flag. Roy Armstrong came up 2nd. I believe those two obviously brothers.
That's correct.
Yep. So 1-2.
Father-son.
Father-son. Is Adam or Roy?
Adam is a son.
So son beat dad that week, huh?
Both nights, yep.
Oh, wow. That's a little bit of bragging rights at the dinner table. So Sean...
That'd be an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Pass the butter, I beat your ass.
Sean Slezak takes home 3rd. Jesse Van Lanningham finished 4th, and Jacob Harms finished 5th. Let's actually talk about what the division was. Sport Compacts finishing 5th. Tyler Fralin finishing 4th. Nate Scrubner finishing 3rd. Scott Spellmeyer, Nick Lindblad, right? Lindblad, finished 2nd, and Brock McDougall finished with the checkered flag. So on to your IMCA Modifieds. Johnny Sadoff took home the checkered flag. Tim Ward came in 2nd. Bob Zubek came in 3rd. Jordan Nelson came in 4th. Shane Hyatt finished 5th. For your Sport Mods, Greg Metz finished the checkered flag, took it home, got himself a podium, as we would say down in Australia, I guess. David Trenchrich.
Tronic.
Wow, not even close. What is it again?
Tronic.
Okay, David Tronic finished 2nd. Steve, I'm going to need your help later, by the way. Steve swore out. I might need your help for protection, by the way. You got any hired muscle I can...
Are you kidding? I got to. We're dealing with sprint car revolt going on here.
I might need to borrow your security detail. Steve Swart out, finished third. Dustin Leonard finished fourth. And finishing fifth, Max Harder. And again, that was for your sport mods. Looking at the way the points lay out for Beatrice as of July 7th, Jordan Grabowski is your current modified points leader. 9 points behind him, Johnny Sadoff. Bob Zubek sits in third. Chris Alcorn sits in fourth. And Mike Dresberger. Yeah, Dresberger finished.
Mike
is
Densberger.
fifth. Oh, Densberger. I missed the N, and I threw in an R. Mike Densberger. Now you can see why people don't like me at Crawford.
And you work for the radio station?
I just sell advertising. I don't pronounce names. For your sport mods, Greg Metz is your current leader. Max Harder is in second, just 3 points behind him. Craig Evers is third. Gary Sadoff is fourth, and Dustin Schmidt is sitting in fifth. For your stock car division, Lance Borgman is your current points leader, 7 points behind him. Kyle Vanover. Paul Huss is third. Kevin Van Lingham is in fourth, and Lisa Wagner is in fifth. She's got about a 50-point difference there behind the leader. So she's got a little bit of distance to make up out of Beatrice, Nebraska. Hobby Stock Division, your current points leader with 301 points out of Beatrice. Adam Armstrong right behind him. Jesse Van Lanningham is just 4 points behind. Sean Slezak is, it's amazing. Slezak I can get. It's pathetic. Sean Slezak sitting in third, Jacob Harms sitting in fourth, and Roy Armstrong is in fifth. Your final division, your Sport Compacts, your current points leader, and got himself a nice 6-point lead. Brock McDougall is currently, like I said, 6-point lead over Scott Spellmeyer with 309 points, sitting in second. Nick Lindblad is sitting in third. Tyler Fralin is sitting in fourth, and Miranda Lineweber is in fifth. I'm done.
I'm never going to forget Miranda Line Rubber now. I'm thinking about it because that was just the way he ended.
My God, are we done?
I got.
Can I go home and drink?
That was some quality entertainment right there.
I'm glad you had fun.
Don't worry, our Facebook page is going to blow up, but for all the wrong reasons tomorrow.
No kidding.
You dirty mother.
Yeah.
I got the last one right here. Junction Motor Speedway. The good 2-hour haul, hour and a half I get to make every week. Looking at corn all the way out there every Saturday. The B-Mod A feature, Jeremy Leidig won. Brian Kaziski got second. Corey Hutchison third. Kevin Betson fourth. And Rocky Zimmerman your top five. 4 cylinders. Richard Crow picked up the win. Nick Alexander came out there for the first time and got second. And Steve Mook, your points leader, was third. And in the late model class, Jace Kaiser picked up the win. Yours truly got second. And Denton Bowler third.
You did?
Who?
That'd be me.
Attaboy.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Matt Bowler got fourth, and Corey Dumpert was fifth. Your points. In the B-Mod, Tony Ross, your leader. Behind him, 3 points, is Kevin Betson. Brian Kaziski third, Brent Kasick fourth, and Dusty Blake is fifth. Hobby Stock, Shane Snyder has won all but I think maybe one night. Travis Thielander second, Jeff Timmermans third, Derek Conert fourth, and Dylan Birkland is fifth. 4 cylinders, Steve Mook, your leader, followed by Richard Crow, Ed Huxell, Casey Bagwell, and Dalton Seebick. And the late model class, Jace Kaiser, who has now won 4 in a row, 8 out of I think 10 or 11 races. He's just on a tear.
Wow.
He's tough to beat, and I can't wait to listen to him next week on the radio show. Matt Bowler second, Mark Peters third, myself again is fourth, and Alex Humphreys fifth, which second through I think seventh is like 9 points away from each other. So the battle is for second right now. Jace is 26 out front, and he's not going to be touched the rest of the season, I don't believe.
Yeah, I want to bring up too. Do we know if Jace is going to join us in studio?
No, he is actually from Lincoln.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if he joins us in studio, then typically we have them just hang out and join us for the Slingin Dirt session. But
well, I could probably ask. He might.
See if he'd be able to.
He would have a lot of fun.
It'd be nice to have him in studio.
He's shorter than me. I might be able to beat him up.
Maybe he could read some of these tracks and not me.
Would he be able to look over the counter if he stood up?
You know what? He is taller than that, but he is a little short.
He's a tiny little squirt.
You know what, Tolly Tollerson? Go screw yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could beat you in a race car, so we're all the same size there, I guess.
Well, yeah, I don't have a late model yet.
Oh, okay. We'll get you one.
Yeah.
And the last class, the modifieds, Robert Brinkman, your leader. 1 point behind him, Mark Leidig. Those two are having a heck of a battle all season. Scott Smith third, Stacy Stava fourth, and Shane Stutzman, your fifth place guy, and that is it.
We're done?
I think so.
Wow. I tell you what.
I'm not going to lie. On the nights that we do the Iowa or the Nebraska tracks, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But then on the weeks that we do Iowa tracks, we only have like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So I mean, it averages out. But
And as we always say, hit us up on our Facebook page.
Absolutely.
If you want to hear of a track, just email us, post on our comment, whatever you got to do on the Front Stretch Facebook page, and let us know what track you want us to cover, and we'll start covering it for you. You know, barring time, and we've only got so much studio time we're able to have, but we'll try to work in as many tracks as we can. If there's driver stories out there, like we don't want to keep bringing it up, but Tom Sommerfeld out of Crawford County last week that fell and hurt himself after the race, and looks like he's going to be paralyzed. We'll talk about those stories. We'll bring up stuff like that.
The 360 car issue at Eagle Raceway.
Right. And if there's a story at your track you want us to talk about, send us some information, because we're only 3 guys and we can only get to so many tracks a week and only see so many stories. So feel free to Facebook us. And the biggest thing you can do for us, if you like what you hear, share it on your wall so that everybody else can see it and everybody else can enjoy it, and we can grow this and make it into something really big.
Roger, thanks for coming in the studio and hanging out with us. You look like you're about ready to fall asleep over there.
Yeah, when you guys walk out with me here, make sure you bring a gun in case there's some sprint car guys standing outside.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be quite that bad. Hey, I do want to do a shout out. Congratulations to Racine Hayden on the birth of her baby daughter. What is the baby's name, by the way? I didn't catch that.
Liberty.
I'm sorry, is Racine your wife?
That would be my daughter.
Okay, I didn't know. I don't know.
Pretty much.
It happens.
She's pretty much the person who runs the racetrack.
I'm sorry. I'm horrible with age, and I'm thinking Roger's like 35, 40, so that it very well could be your kid.
You don't have to kiss his ass.
Yeah,
No, well, I thought you were 32. Turns out you're 63. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And dates an 18.
I will give Racine credit though. That girl, all the way up until she had the baby, a lot of us were talking, is she literally going to have the kid right here in the pits? And Roger and us were talking about it, before we went and did the Slingin Dirt segment. But that girl works her butt off just like all the other people do at Eagle Raceway, and she's never showed favoritism. She takes care of everybody, gets what needs to be done. So kudos to her, and hope she hope to see her back out at the track soon.
And Roger, I've been seeing on your guys' Facebook page the last couple of weeks, you guys have been needing some assistance out there. Are you guys hiring right now?
Yeah, we're always looking for help.
Okay. Well, what's the number they can call to apply?
402-238-2595.
Okay. And you just need some help doing some stuff around the track and making a couple dollars here and there.
Yep, you name it, it's available.
Well, thank you, Roger. We really appreciate you coming in tonight and talking with us and getting this 360 issue kind of cleared up a little bit and some explanation behind it, because I'm learning firsthand right now that the keyboard commandos can really go off into left field and start making up all these different stories about what's going on, and it's great to get it from the horse's mouth. And congratulations on being a grandpa.
Thank you very much.
Is this your first grandpa?
Nope.
Is this your first grandchild?
Number 2.
Number 2? Oh, well, that's not bad, man.
He's a 2-timer.
Well, geez, Roger, you 2-timing son of a gun. This has been Slingin Dirt. Share it, love it. We're going to be back each and every week talking dirt track. Thank you to Andrew. Thank you to Bud. I'm Dan Taylor. We'll see you at the track.